I'm Renzo, Renzo Quevedo, and I'm originally from California, but I've lived in Chapel Hill and Charlotte back and forth for like the last 10, 11 years now. I don't know why I keep coming back. It just feels natural to me. This is where I feel like I belong.
I'm from New Jersey. I have family all over. I bounced back from New Jersey and New York City throughout my life, and then I moved to South Carolina 3 or 4 years ago to do school at Coastal Carolina University. So I just graduated in May with my bachelor's in marine science, and I want to go into a master's dealing with wildlife and conservation biology. So I wanted to involve myself in that field this summer and kind of get a feel for like what I'm getting myself into in terms of going back to school for it. So that's why I signed up for this course. And I guess something that surprised me, well, one of the main things that surprised me is just how much work we can get done. I remember like when we were back at Cliffs, I was looking at the second chair we had to do. I was like, there's no way we're gonna get this done in 5 days or in 10 days. And then we got so much of it done. And then coming here and seeing the length of the show, I was like, there's no way we're gonna get enough work done. And just seeing how quickly we can like really push through and get it done is really surprising. And then something else that really stuck out to me is just how comfortable I've gotten, because I've gone camping before, but never for this extended period of time and being in these conditions. So it's just really surprised me how much more comfortable I've gotten, and also being comfortable with wildlife. Like today I held a snake, which is really amazing, and we've seen skinks and different kinds of lizards, and I held a baby, what do you call it? A knoll, yeah, which was really cool. So I just love the feeling of being able to be more comfortable in this environment. I really enjoyed it.
I'm Ben Pare. I grew up in Ohio, but have lived in Arizona for the past 2 years. And I came out east because I grew up in Ohio, and I admit living out here, even though North Carolina is a little bit different, a little bit more humid, which is fun at times.
That's charitable.
Yeah. But I had worked with Utah Conservation before in the past and really enjoyed the work as well as the lifestyle. And yeah, that's why I decided to sign up and come out here. Glad that I did. Something that has surprised me, other than the humidity, has been how quickly as a crew we've kind of fallen into good relationships, and how quickly that this lifestyle promotes that. Getting to know each other, and we kind of have to work together and get along.
I was originally born in Johnson City, Tennessee. I grew up in Chattanooga a little bit, and I now permanently live in Greensboro, North Carolina. One of the things that attracted me to this work was I'm actually a fisheries, wildlife, and conservation biology major at NC State, and I wanted to get to know a little bit more of like the technical side of natural resources, and also to have the chance to give back as well. And this presented itself, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to get into this sort of area of the natural resources, someplace that I've actually haven't had a lot of experience in, but I really like it. I always feel great getting up and doing this work. I've never had a day where I'm like, oh man, I can't believe I have to be outside and work. One of the things that surprised me was after like a day or two, you just instantly fall asleep when you go to bed. That's something that I've never had happen to me.
I learned it's like a lot of species in the natural plant habitat basically, because there's certain things you want to save, and you have to be aware of that.
I started in the planning department at state parks, and then moved to trails when there was an opening. Been in this position for about a year, and I'm loving it. It's a great balance of office and field work, and there is an endless amount of work with our trail systems. We have over 600 miles of trail in the state park system alone across North Carolina, and a lot of it was old logging roads and trails that were just arbitrarily built before there was any concept of sustainable trail building. erosion and sedimentation is one of the largest pollutants in our water bodies across the state. So, like some of the rivers, you used to be able to sail up to almost to Raleigh back in the day before we started deforesting and plowing for agriculture. And now a lot of these rivers are just like so silted in. And still after rains, you will see like most of our rivers in the Piedmont look like chocolate milk. So our idea is to take care of our watersheds by reducing erosion, but still like providing great trail systems for people to access the outdoors, and like you said, be close to the natural resources and understand why they're valuable and why we should conserve them.
So what I heard is to be cognizant as we help, as the core network develops new cores, and I think that's already there, but just we're supportive of that conversation versus just sort of standing up more cores without the strategy behind it. That makes sense. And then a lot of us are, as I told you, we're coming in, Conservation Legacy has been a while on the diversity, equity, and inclusion side. I've got that disability side, but we could really use more collective impact from the core network on the recruitment side, on sharing the kind of spectrum of backgrounds and abilities we want to join the cores nationwide, and rather to have every core trying to do that individually, to have the core network help lead us all in that could be pretty impactful, and we could use the help.